Hello, hi, welcome. I, Shilpa Mulimani, welcome you all to the Mystic Lotus Awesome Healers Training Summit Season 5. Before I introduce our expert today, tell me something honestly. Don't we all have at least one relationship where we want the other person to change, to listen to us, and to behave as we wish? We all know how that goes. Not very pleasant, is it? Today, I'm delighted to welcome our speaker who will show us the simplest, easiest way to heal us and therefore our relationships using Ho'oponopono. She says, why stop at healing relationships when you can unblock your business, increase money flows, improve your health, and have lots of fun with manifestations? Our expert today is an award winning global happiness leader and somatic integration therapist, Janki Ravani, presenting Ho'oponopono like you may have never known before with a happy body twist. Just in the past 2 years, she has taught Ho'oponopono to over 2,000 people and counting. It's our turn now, and I can't wait to get started. Welcome our expert today once again, who's known for her 5-second healing tools, who shows how to use the body as a tool for manifestation, and who has many life changing stories and insights for us today. Janki, hello. So wonderful to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Shilpa, so much. Thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure to be here with the whole Mystic Lotus team and all these lovely guests who are here for the conversation. I'm super, super excited today to share about Ho'oponopono because I think it's something that really drastically shifted things for me in my life. That too by simply chanting four simple phrases. And let me just share something funny, right? So Ho'oponopono first came to me in 2016 when I started, studying as a healer to become a healer and a happiness coach. And my friend heard some issue I was constantly, struggling with, and she said, these are the four phrases. Just chant it, see the magic. I said, okay. And I chanted it and I said, what's this? I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Like, will this do anything? And I chanted it very half-heartedly, not realizing because it didn't like connect with me at that point. I gave up in about 2 days and I forgot about it. In 2019 December, so almost after 3 years, I was in one of the darkest phases of my life. And at that point, I was, just so angry at people for, not understanding me, for doubting my intentions, for, saying that I was a bad mother or a bad person and just making me feel so bad about who I was. So the shame and guilt and anger was like at its peak. And my mentor at that time, another person, 3.5 years later, told me, just chant these phrases. And, the good thing is he told me chant it for yourself. You're not asking those people for forgiveness. You're not doing this for them. You're just doing this for me. And that's good because had he said, ask them for forgiveness, I think I would have killed him first. But I said, okay, I can do it for myself. So I started chanting the phases, and slowly in a week and then in 2 weeks and in a month, I realized that the idea or thought, when I would think back at the events that had happened, they didn't trigger me anymore. I was much calmer. I was a lot more open to listening or being in their presence again. Now, here's the funny part. Somebody who I had struggled with for almost 20, 25 years, okay, somebody who triggered me nonstop, like I couldn't spend 5 minutes in the room with them without like wanting to shoot myself or shoot them. After this, after doing Ho'oponopono, and I worked on myself only, I went and lived with them for 2 weeks. And I didn't kill anyone. So it was, quite a magical thing that happened. But here's the beautiful part about Ho'oponopono. And let me just share it. A lot of you already know it because it's a very, very, very popular modality. And when I got it, I was fascinated. I said, what is happening here that by just saying these four things, something is shifting? So I went in to do the deep research and kind of like became a scientist going into myself, like, okay, when I'm saying I'm sorry, what's happening? When I'm saying, please forgive me, what's happening? I thank you, I love you. What is going on in my head? What is physically happening to me that is changing my vibrations towards this person? What is happening to that person as a, byproduct of what I'm doing? And, I did so much of that introspection. And of course, it was COVID in 2020. And we also taught this every Saturday for a whole year for free to everyone who was willing to receive it. And that whole year shifted everything for me. Right. And then I started, because I'm extremely introspective and I can make the connections. So I could see that from the time I started chanting, not only were my relationships healing, my finances, the kind of business I was getting, I started getting clients from all over the world. Right. And I realized there was something very profound and at a deep level shifting. Now, what it was, would you like to know?
Can't
Would
wait.
everybody want to know what it is that actually shifts inside you? Okay, awesome. So what really happens here is that the core essence, and this is the essence of Ho'oponopono, which if you just simply understand it and then say the phrases, it will start also working for you in a much more profound way. It already works for anyone. Even if a 3-year-old baby or a 5-year-old chants it, it works, right? You don't need skill. You don't need to be psychic, or you don't need to be a very gifted healer for this. It's the magic of the method, the modality, the statements in itself are so powerful. But if you combine that with the essence, right? It's like, one is if you're copying the answer from your partner in an exam, and one is if you understand it, you can do it anytime in life. So this is the essence, right? At the core of Ho'oponopono is a willingness to take responsibility, right? And when I say take responsibility, it's not saying that it was your fault. It's just saying that I am able to respond to it differently now. I can see that there is a problem and nobody else is, being able to fix it or change it or shift it. But I have this tool that I'm empowered with. I'm going to use it because I'm able to respond to it. I want to change it. So the first thing you're doing is taking responsibility. The second thing you're doing is recognizing that you and I are one. Right? There is, in fact, a beautiful quote. So take responsibility for the world you see because it is a reflection of you.
Wow.
Right? Take responsibility for the world that you see around you, right? The people you live with, the society, your boss, your colleagues, the government. Everything around you is a reflection of you. And we are all one. So one of the two of the other most beautiful things that Ho'oponopono taught me was the power of love, right? When you're functioning from love and when you're recognizing that we are one. And when you recognize we are one, so if I change it in me, I change it in you. If I want to change it in you, I just have to change it in me, right? And I remember there was this other very, I would say it was embarrassing when I did it. There was a lady who, her boyfriend and I were very close friends. We live in different continents. We've only met once, but because we share he's also a healer, I'm also a healer. We share the work, and obviously, so we discuss cases, and our bond is really strong because spiritually we share a lot of work and reach out to each other. And she would be extremely jealous. Why are you talking to her so much? And what do you want with her? And she's the reason we can't be close, and like just stuff going on. And I used to every time look at her and laugh, like, what? Like so immature and she's so insecure and all, right? And later I came to know that she had been doing sessions, mere naam ka, sessions that, oh God, she triggers me so much for 2 years. Okay, so she would go to her therapist and say, I want to work on Janki, like she's a pain in my ass. And then what happened is there was a workshop I had on relationships and they were struggling with relationship issues. So I said, okay, you know what? I would like to invite both of you to come and learn something. She said, Janki is stupid. I would never want to learn from her. Why would anyone want to learn from her? She's a fraud and this and that. And I said, okay, this requires me to do some massive clearing in myself, right? So I started doing Ho'oponopono for myself. And I just said, okay, whatever it is in me that is triggering her, whatever it is in me that is creating so much anger, animosity, resentment, if it's in her and with respect to me directly, obviously there must be something I've done. Maybe not in this lifetime, maybe some lifetime, I don't care. But it is a reflection of me. So I take responsibility. And I think for 2 minutes, I chanted for 2 minutes. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. That evening, she came for my call. She had to leave half an hour early. So she messaged, I'm loving it. I'm going to, watch the recording. From the next day, we became best friends. Okay. And then they both broke up and we were best friends. And and that's when I realized, what if I was the problem all along? What if she was the one who had been clearing? And what if I was the one unknowingly holding on or keeping the door shut? And the minute I did Ho'oponopono just for 2 minutes, so it's not about how many times you say it. It's not about how long. Like some people ask me, Janki, should we chant 108 times, 50 times? And I'm like, how many times do you want to chant it? Okay, that many times, right? Because it's about you feeling like I've done enough. And for me, being how lazy I am, I said I will chant it once or for 2 minutes, and the work has to be done. And it was. And that day I realized that sometimes unknowingly we are the problem, not to blame ourselves, but just maybe they've all cleared their side of the equation and I'm the only one remaining here. And maybe just by me saying this for 2 minutes is all it takes to shift everything. So that was one of the most interesting stories and personal experiences I had with Ho'oponopono. Apart from this, a lot of clients have seen shifts with, somebody got their money back. I remember a lady during COVID was so worked up because, during COVID, everybody was facing like, jobs were at stake. People were getting, dismissed from their roles, money problems. And she said, Janki, since I started doing Ho'oponopono, money, she had joined the class for a week. She said, money that was stuck since 8 to 10 months, right? She said, I got it back randomly without even following up. They deposited in my account and said, sorry for the delay, and here goes your money. Somebody else who said, I need a laptop for my son. Schools had gone online, if you remember, in COVID. She only had a phone, and she said, my son is like really straining to see what is written on the little screen. And she said, I chanted Ho'oponopono saying, I don't have the money for a laptop, but universe, I'm willing to receive. And somebody in her family, her in-laws or somebody in the extended family gifted her a laptop saying, we know your son would love to have one right now. School has started. And they gifted her a laptop. So many relationships, just the way I transformed mine, have transformed. And at the core was just somebody willing to recognize that I can do something about it without blaming, without making somebody else wrong, just willing to take responsibility and say, with compassion, I will chant with no agenda. I don't know how this will work. I don't know what it will create, but I'm willing to chant and see what shows up. And then, boom, there are miracles.
Boom, Janki, thank you for this fabulous introduction. The logical me wants to know something, and I'm going to ask you that. But before I ask you, I want to welcome a lot of people who have joined in. All the chats are going to be on the Telegram group, and anybody who's joining us on YouTube, welcome. Hi to you. If you want to chat live, send us a message on Telegram at the Mystic Lotus, and we'll have you on. Janki, I'm going to go a little back, and in case we have anybody who has not practiced Ho'oponopono or who don't know the exact four phrases, can you quickly tell us the fascinating origin story of Ho'oponopono and also something about the four phrases?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to. So this story is actually mind-blowing, how Ho'oponopono came out to the world. So Ho'oponopono is actually an ancient Hawaiian healing modality. I will not even say it was a healing modality. It was just something they practiced in Hawaii since centuries. It was a way of life for them. And which is why if you actually even go to Hawaii, and from what I've seen, I haven't been there yet, but you get a very calming Zen vibe from there, right? It's just beautiful, pristine, a lot of nature, a lot of calmness and peace on the land. Like they say, each land has a consciousness, right? So the land of Hawaii is seeped with these statements. Now, there was a rumor going on in the world, in United States, that in Hawaii, there is a doctor who has healed a hospital full of patients. Now, who are these patients? They are not just mentally ill patients. They are criminals, psychopaths, murderers, serial killers, pedophiles, the worst of the lot. These are the people who were admitted to this mental asylum, okay? And the way it worked there was that once people were admitted to this mental asylum, they never left it. except when they died, right? Because they were not fit to be put back into society. It was not like a 5-year jail term, 10-year jail term. It was just like, let's keep them here so society can be a little sane. Now, when Dr. Hewlett went there, so the rumor was that there is a doctor who's treating and has treated and successfully sent back into society criminally ill people after healing them completely. And the magical part was he never met them once. He never gave them medicines, right? So everybody was like, who is this doctor? And then somebody wanted to say, I have to find out more. This is amazing. So some of you might have heard of him, Dr. Joe Vitale. He went to meet Dr. Hugh Len, right? And when he met him and he asked him, how did you do it? What did you do? What are the details here? He came to know, Dr. Hewlett shared, and there's a whole book called Zero Limits, in which all the details are there, but I'll just summarize for you. So he said, I would get their files, right? Each of the criminals had a file. I would read one file at a time. Whatever they had done, right? Maybe rapes or murders or, whatever, beating up people. He said, I would take complete responsibility that maybe it is lack of me as part of society. I did not care for you enough, so you became a criminal. Or it is, if that rage or anger or hate is in you, it's also in me, because actually we are all one, right? So with this essence, he started chanting the phrases, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. These are the 4 phrases of Ho'oponopono, the core phrases. I will also in my course be teaching 2 more phrases, but these are the core phrases. And he said, I would chant it, feeling oneness with them, feeling that connection and knowing that because we are one, if I heal myself, I will by default heal you. So at all times, he was not trying to fix or heal the other person. It's never, in Ho'oponopono, it's never about the other person. If they are a part of your world, it is your problem, it is your responsibility, and you, by healing yourself, will by default heal them. So he would just read what they had done, chant the phrases for himself, saying, this is in me. And one by one, those people would get okay and be released back into society, saying, okay, you are fit to go back and live with normal people. And it is fascinating because he never met them once. There was no medication, there was no shock treatment, there was no counseling or therapy or trying to make them realize, see, what you've done is bad. You have to become a better, kinder, more compassionate person. You have to say sorry and, be good next time. None of that. It was simply working with oneself. And then, of course, Dr. Joe Vitale brought Dr. Hugh Len to the world through books and seminars and multiple other things. And today, Ho'oponopono is practiced across the world by millions of people with a lot of success. But what I've seen is that if you're simply willing to use the phrases, and the phrases are such that you don't need any skill level, right? Which kind of brings about the question, if I don't need a skill level, why do I need a workshop for it, right? So this is what I understood. When you're mechanically chanting the phrases, yes, they will work for you. But when you understand the core essence of it, when you know how to use it, using yourself as one of the greatest anchors. And here I'm also going to be teaching somatic Ho'oponopono. So we're taking Ho'oponopono a notch higher because I'm using body work. Because a lot of times clients struggle with, but what am I supposed to think? Am I supposed to think of them? Am I supposed to think of me? But what am I supposed to feel? But do I just say the phrases? How many times do I say the phrases? And there's so much confusion because we're using our minds, right? We're trying to get it right. We're trying to figure it out, be logical and intelligent about it, which is where we lose it. Instead of that, what I realized through my personal practice, and this was something I created along my own journey with Ho'oponopono, I discovered that I had unknowingly started using it in tandem with my body. So if I would just, instead of thinking from here, if I would drop down into my body, feel the sensations of, maybe there was a person I was triggered by, but what was it making me feel here? Because I'm saying the Ho'oponopono prayer is only supposed to be used here for yourself. So it makes it so much easier to use when you have your body as an anchor. Because here's the good part, right? Your body is limited. Everybody thinks limited is bad, but there's only so much to work on. Your mind is unlimited, right? It goes all over the place. It jumps from here to there and it has the ability to totally confuse you. But your body is just this much, very straightforward. It is what it is. Like I think I even shared in my last call, your mind is like Krishna, very naughty, very mischievous. Your body is like Shiva, straight arrow. This is what it is, black and white. Hai to hai, nahi hai to nahi hai. So you're only working with this much and it's tangible, right? If you think about it in religion, and this is again when I introspect, because I'm like always trying to like, why is this working and why is that not working? And here's the answer I got. In religion, how you have an idol, you have a photo, you have a symbol, you have something which makes that intangible into tangible. And when it becomes tangible, it's easier for us to relate to it, right? So likewise in Ho'oponopono, it's just those four phrases and something intangible. But when you're dropping down into your body and you're practicing it here, and you can notice the sensations, you rate your sensations. Okay, right now my irritation or my heartbeats or the heaviness I'm feeling is an 8 on 10. And as you chant, you see it going to a 6 and a 5 and then a 0. So it becomes tangible and you can pace it. You can see the shift is happening. You can see the release work that is happening. That's what makes somatic Ho'oponopono more fun, more powerful, and tangible, as opposed to the intangibles which people struggle with, right? If they're not so sensitive or aware or psychic, people are like, I don't know if anything is shifting or happening. Now you can actually feel it.
Absolutely. So, Janki, somatic means involving the body and the mind in whatever work you're doing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, Janki, I want to tell everybody that this is just the beginning. Janki has a lot of things planned for us today. As we chatted before this call began, actually, a lot of people know of using Ho'oponopono for relationships, but it's quite a surprise that Ho'oponopono can be used for many things. Janki is going to cover that. And to experience this, actually, Janki has been saying that we have to work on us and everything else will shift. We are actually going to experience this not just for relationship, but for anything you may be facing. Stay tuned. We are going to experience that live. And I mentioned in my introduction that Janki is the queen of 5 second tours. She is going to share one of those with us today, which we can immediately start using as soon as the call is over forever. And there's going to be lots more. Of course, we will have select one on one also, like a demonstration of individual sessions. And we will get a homework. No, not homework, but we will get a Ho'oponopono home play today at the end of the call. So stay tuned, everybody. And Janki, I'm now going to ask you what has been, nudging me that please ask her. And I'm sure a lot of people are curious that how, it's a one word question, how. And in fact, somebody on the group, uh, Swarn asked that will this work in relationship healing if both are working, or even if the other person doesn't work and only one person is working? How is this possible, Janki? And then do tell us that how are we unlocking abundance and manifesting with this tool today?
Okay, awesome. So it's a beautiful question when you say, if only I'm the one working on it, will it work, right? And I would say, firstly, we would love, wouldn't we, that other people should take responsibility. You are the one creating problems in my life. You need healing. You need therapy. You go to the therapist. But do they? And if they did already, we would be much happier. We wouldn't be sitting on these calls, right? So it's like this. If two people come together and there is friction, right? I would say think of it as a log of wood and fire. When you come together, there is going to be burning, right? But what if you, by doing Ho'oponopono, what you are doing is changing the essence of you. So instead of a log of wood, if you become a glass of water, and now I put fire on it or in it, will it still burn? It cannot, because you have changed. Now, even if they remain who they are, they either will not affect you, but not only by that, but being around you by osmosis, they will start absorbing that peace, that clearing, that feeling inside where okay, I've let go of some baggage, some hate, some anger, some animosity, some grudges, and that will start shifting something in them as well. Right? So my answer to you is yes, 100%. If you, because let me tell you, when I was working on the person I thought was the biggest pain in my life for 25 years, they are still not doing anything. But let me tell you, since since 2020, since I started working on it, today is 23, so it's been 3 years. My relationship with them has completely changed to where they are so much more open to receiving from me. Now we can actually sit together and have a whole day long picnic. We actually have fun in each other's company, and there is zero trigger. That person has not done one session. They have not chanted Ho'oponopono once. They have not gone for any therapy session and cleared anything in them. But because I was willing to do the work, and between the two of us, you need just one person. Between the two of us, it was me, and in two of y'all, if it's you, if you're willing to work on it, right? Why not? And here's my question to you, right? Here's the choice we all have in our relationships. You can either say, I'm going to be the waiting one. Okay. I'm waiting. Let me see how much longer will you take to realize you are the problem and you go to therapy. Or you can say, hey, you know what? I'm sick of this. I would love for us to have peace. I would love for me to have peace. Forget you. I would love to have peace in my life. I'm willing to do something about it for myself. That's all you need. And I always ask my clients this question, right? Some people come to me when things are really bad, right? And then they're like, Janki, please help us. And some people come when it's not so bad yet, and they might come for a session. And I say, thank you, because they are the ones who are saying, I don't have to wait for it to get much worse. Maybe in this lifetime, maybe in another lifetime. If you don't clear it, it just carries forward. You can't run away from the work. But if you are willing to say that, you know what, I've had enough, I'm willing to do something about it, everything starts shifting from there on. Right? So let me ask you a question, all of you. Right? What is that one thing you would really like to shift in your life? Which area of your life do you struggle with?
Thank you, Janki. Thank you so much for asking that. Everybody, let us know on the group. We will try to cover that topic as much as possible today. And Janki is with us tomorrow also. Trust me, we are going to have an amazing ride these 2 days. Janki, till people tell us what is the biggest issue they are facing and they would like help with, there are a couple of questions. May I ask them now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So it was, since you have covered relationship, it is about a relationship, a couple of them. So Gitanjali has said that I had a lot of issues with my in-laws, especially my mother-in-law. So Ho'oponopono has worked quite well. It's my response to her, and the situation has changed, making my life peaceful. Gitanjali, congratulations for that, and thank you for sharing with us. It is an inspiration. Her question is that her husband is a narcissistic personality. Will it work here? She says that my confidence is low. I'm fearful to do the prayer with my husband. Maybe it's a block for me. Can you help?
Absolutely. Will it help? Of course it will help, right? Because as I said, if there is fire and there is a log of wood versus if there is a fire and a glass of water, irrespective of how big the fire is, it cannot affect a glass of water. It cannot affect water, right? So what you're doing with Ho'oponopono is taking responsibility that I created this situation. I'm allowing this situation to continue every single day. I am putting myself out here. What can I do to change myself so that this situation can change? Now, the answer for each could be completely different based on each different person. Somebody might, after chanting Ho'oponopono, say, I've made them, we've both made me peace. Somebody might say, I've become strong enough to leave this situation. Somebody might say, I've become strong enough to stand up and, put him into place where he cannot affect me anymore. We have not like come together, but I'm immune to him completely now, right? And therefore he started backing off. So how it will show up, how the shift will show up in your life, we don't know that. but the shift will definitely show up if you do the work. And honestly, let me also share, the shift will show up the way you want it to show up, and for in a way that it's in your highest and best. Because now when you're practicing Ho'oponopono, it's extremely spiritual, right? And I think I had this conversation very recently with someone. There is a book called Radical Forgiveness, right? Which says everything in life is happening for you, not to you. It's happening for you. Which, if you understand, it means the people who are in your life are simply there to help you learn the lessons which you decided you wanted to learn. So it's like this: if I want to learn engineering or arts or psychology or economics, and I sign up for that course, these are the professors who are just teaching me what I signed up to learn. So the faster I learn the lesson, the faster I can be out of that college. But if I'm in that college and hating the professor every day and saying, oh God, you're so wrong in doing this to me, it's very natural, but it doesn't help you. So with Ho'oponopono, I've seen what has started happening with me is I've started seeing the larger picture from, the divine perspective, not only the human perspective. Yes, we are living in human lives. We're living in this third plane reality. But once you do Ho'oponopono, you start seeing the perfection in everything. And when you start seeing the perfection in everything, you will realize technically there's nothing to forgive. And I know right now it's very early to jump into that. And, the question was such that I jumped there. But trust the universe. Nothing that is happening to you is something wrong. It is something that you chose to go through, because that was the most powerful experience for your evolution. Think of it this way, right? Now, how many of you know Alia Bhatt? Raise your hands. Most people know Alia Bhatt.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, cute, bubbly, sweet. I really like her. Now, she started with Student of the Year. Yeah, she played like a happy young 15, 16-year-old in college, romantic love story. And then she played a role in Dear Zindagi, and then in what was that movie? Highway. And then very recently, Gangubai, right? Now see the range of movies she has played. Why? Because as an actor, she said, if I want to evolve, I have to play different roles. Technically, why would somebody play a prostitute who gets beaten, who gets, possibly raped, and, every other day there is something horrific? But she knew that that role would add to her perfectly in her journey as an actor. It would help her grow beautifully, and she would really make a mark for herself. Sometimes we're just thinking something like this: can I play a different role? I need to learn or experience something new to grow spiritually. That's why we choose. It's very counterintuitive. Yeah, everybody would choose a happy life. We're the creators of our life. Everybody would choose a happy life, rich life, abundant life, healthy life, good relationships, good money, good home, good city. But still, each of us has a set of problems. We chose them because that would be the most fun way to grow. I always say this, right? If you went for a movie, yeah, and if everything was happening perfectly in the movie, girl meets boy, they get married, the parents agree, and they have children, and they all have a good job, and they have a good home, and they go for holidays, you would come out from the movie and say, what a boring movie. There was no action, there was no drama, yaar, kuch feel hi nahi hua. Waste of my money. Boring. That's what we do with our lives. We say, no, that'll be really boring if everything is going well. Let's create some drama and make it interesting, because human beings are full of emotions, right? We want that emotional roller coaster. And if you start looking at it as, wow, what is the fun I'm having here? And I'm done having this fun. If you've sat in the roller coaster 5 times, you're like, I don't want to sit in it again. Thank you. I love you. I'm out of here. Okay. So I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely, not just Gitanjali's, but all of us. In fact, Deepika shared a comment with us that she's always waiting for her husband to say sorry when there is a fight. So, Janki, I would like to read everybody's comments
Yes.
to your question that what are you looking for help with? So, Sonu says the career is not taking off. Arjun says relationships are not have often been misunderstood. Lakshmi says money, Seema says relationships, Bhumika, Vasanti, Mona say health, and Ranita says mostly relationships. Bhagya says self acceptance and confidence. Molly, career and relationship. Asha, Anjali, relationship. Anjali says relationship with men in her family. Shalaka says finance. Jayashree says accepting self. RM says I struggle with receiving commitment in relationship, especially with regards to marriage. Jayashree also says attachment issues. And Rohini says consistency. And yes, Rakhi says finance. So we have career, relationship, health, and self acceptance.
And
Janki,
finance, yes.
we are heading towards experiencing this live, and we will get ready for that. Before that, do you have anything to tell all of us who are looking at this? In fact, there are a few questions where people are actually mentioning some specific things that will Ho'oponopono help here. I will ask you that. But before that, do you want to tell all of us who are looking for something in really varied areas of our lives?
Yeah, yeah. There are two things I would like to say actually. The first thing is that all the problems you've mentioned, right? You said somebody said health, somebody said career, somebody said relationship, somebody said I'm always misunderstood, or whatever other things you have said. All these problems are like the branches of a tree, right? And they could be looking very, very different on the face of it, on the top, at the surface level, but they all go down to the same core, which is the experience that you have chosen to have because it serves you in a certain way. The second thing I want to say is, so basically, if you work on one, you don't work, I'm not going to teach you to work on and change your career or change your relationship or change your health. I'm going to teach you how to change you. So by default, then everything growing from here is going to be different. The second thing is that if you want an experience to end, okay, let's say you're going through a bad phase. If you want an experience to end, you have to be willing to accept it. What you resist persists. Because it's like somebody is knocking, like there's a messenger at the door and they're knocking to give me a parcel or a message or a telegram. And I'm just like, no, not listening, not willing to receive it. Now they have to stand there and knock, 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 ring the bell, ring the bell. And possibly they want to break the door down. Like, just take the message, will you? That message, that learning, that's what we came here to take. And until you take that, you can't move forward. You can't get out of that experience. So the minute you say the phrases of Ho'oponopono, it kind of puts you in a position where your heart literally opens up to receiving that wisdom, that grace, that message, whatever that learning is for your life individually. For each of us, it could be different or it could be the same, doesn't matter. When you say Ho'oponopono, you stop resisting, you stop that tug of war. And when you stop resisting and you're saying, okay, I'm unlocking the door now, I'm willing to receive whatever you have to say, whatever this situation is supposed to teach me, whatever being around this person is supposed to teach me how to be. Or maybe it's teaching me forgiveness, maybe it's teaching me acceptance or patience, or how to stand up for myself, or how to be angry and stop the abuse when it's happening. Maybe it's teaching us different things. But if you're resisting it, it will continue. So if you want it to end, Ho'oponopono is the simplest way. See, there are thousands of modalities in the world. All of them are very, very powerful. Very powerful. Each one of them. Initially, when I realized I used to have that, my modality is, like I learned theta healing, I thought theta was the best. Then I learned access, I thought access was the best. But since I learned Ho'oponopono, I realized every modality is in its own way trying to teach us how to. It's like giving you different, right? Some people like watching action and some get entertainment from comedy and some from sports and some from horror films. It doesn't matter as long as you're getting what you want. So each modality in its way is giving you something you want. But I have found in my personal experience, after learning a dozen modalities, Ho'oponopono is the gentlest and simplest way. because it requires the least skill. It doesn't. So most other modalities I practice require me to be very, very sharp, focused, think of multiple things while the client is talking and go. Whereas in Ho'oponopono, we're like, you know what? This is the essence, just these two things, love and willingness to take responsibility, right? Let's do it. And then you just chant with all your heart and you're done, right? So if that's all that you need to do, so it doesn't matter, how long, what issue, just be willing to accept, use the phrases, see the magic.
Absolutely. Janki, thank you for that. And I'll take on some questions now. And Gitanjali has thanked you for the answer that it helps. Cheshri says that after I started doing Ho'oponopono, I started seeing angel numbers all the time. So thank you for those shares. And Janki, there are a group of questions, and we are seeing a common pattern of questions here. So, Seema, Arjun, and Anjali has asked something about doing this with multiple people. So, Seema has asked, can we do this for multiple people? So, Arjun, we can take Arjun's example. He says that there is a group of laborers near his house who constantly give him strong, harmful vibes. Do I need to chant for each person? So, Anjali has asked that when I chant, do I need to visualize each person when chanting? So
Okay,
this is
that's
about
the question.
chanting for others. Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, there are 5 different people, all those laborers. Okay, let's say there are the different laborers, or there are the different family members, or different colleagues at work. Who's the common link?
Me.
It's you, right? You only need to chant Ho'oponopono for yourself.
Amazing.
It's something in you. See, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The vibrations you are putting out are coming back to you. So maybe that animosity that they are seeing from you or towards you is just a reflection of the animosity you have in you. Yes, maybe in you it's not active. Maybe it's dormant, maybe it's latent, but it's there, which is the only reason they are giving you that vibe. They are just reflections, they are just mirrors. So if you want to change the image that you see in a mirror, do you have to change the mirror? Everywhere you will go, you'll just see yourself because you're the one standing in front of the mirror, right? So what I recommend is, it doesn't matter how many people, you change yourself, you chant for yourself. So if I don't want to see myself in this orange shirt, and I say, this mirror is showing me an orange shirt, go. I'll get another mirror. I'm still going to see the orange shirt because I'm wearing an orange shirt. So if there is somebody who's got animosity towards you, it's in you. If somebody's got anger towards you, or even anger in general, maybe sometimes you live with a family member who's always just very, very angry or very, very suspicious. What you're going to say is, I'm taking responsibility. If this anger is in my family member, it's also in me. And let me tell you one thing, as human beings, as infinite beings, we have a capacity to feel everything. We have a capacity to be everything. The other day, I was having a very intense session with a, MD that I was coaching in my executive coaching. And he said that I cannot imagine how this person, there is a person in his life who is extremely, like, zero empathy. You could be dying there. And these are his words. He said, could be dying here in front of them. And it would not, like, they would just continue to be, watching TV or on their mobile and look at me and say, oh, it's okay, let him die. Right? He said, how can anyone lack empathy? How can you be willing to kill someone? And I said, but that only means it's also in you. And he said, no, I have a lot of empathy. I run, I support so many NGOs and I have so many projects going on where I help people. I'm not like that. And I just asked him, right? I said, have you ever killed a mosquito? Right? And he was like, yeah, but that's not the same thing. I said, but for the mosquito, it is, right? Like, you literally went and didn't watch him die. You killed him. And then he was like quiet for 10 minutes, right? And he said, I see your point. Yeah, I have the capacity for it. I have the capacity to lack empathy. I have the capacity to watch someone die in front of me. Yes, of course, not a human being. But I said, at the core, it's the same, no? So then he understood. And then the minute he understood that, that whole image of this evil person that he had for the other person, that shifted. Now, tell me, if I constantly am, if every time I see you, if I am picturing you as an evil person, as the villain, as the bad one, every time you come in front of me, do you think you're going to sense it? Even if I'm not
Oh my
saying anything,
God.
even if I'm just like, are you going to sense the animosity, the I don't like you vibes? You will. And you're going to respond to my vibes by defending yourself in the same way. So you're also going to respond with that. But if I meet someone who, and I have beautiful people in my life, when I see them, they treat me with such a warm, open heart, and they just like engulf me with their love. What do you think I'm going to respond with? The same love, right? So I have a person in my life who responds to me with love, and I could have a person in my life who's, suspicious, jealous, whatever. I have the capacity for both. We all have the capacity. So if you read the newspaper and you look at it and you say, how can they do this? They're so bad. Maybe someone murdered someone, someone stole someone's property, duped someone of 2 crore rupees, anything. I mean, corruption, whatever's going on. And you say, they are bad. I'm not like that. I'm sorry. If it's part of your world, if you read that article and if you got triggered by it, it's because it's also in you. That's also what we do in shadow work, right? So I learned shadow work and Ho'oponopono at the same time. Shadow work is basically wherever you're judging people, you start recognizing that whatever you're hating in them is what you can't live with yourself for. And when you forgive it here, they don't trigger you anymore. So it's very powerful that when you're taking, responsibility again. And I learned shadow work, but I used to use Ho'oponopono to heal it. So literally today, I think where 80% people would trigger me back then, I think 2% people trigger me now. Like you have to be really evil or really on my bad day to trigger me. Otherwise, no matter who I meet, I just don't get triggered. In fact, the people who used to trigger me, now when I see them, I'm like, hi, yaar, I was exactly the same. I can so
Oh my
relate where they are
God.
coming from. I can see I used to also be so lazy. I can see I was also so insecure. And now I can't feel hate for them because I see us as one. I can see a reflection of me everywhere I go. It's like this, right? When you are eating something and you bite your tongue, does the tooth go and slap a case in the court of law against your tongue saying, you bit me, you hurt me, you made me bleed, you almost killed me? Why not? Why not? Tell me. Why don't we put a case when you bite your own tongue? Or why is there no fight? Why are there no two parties trying to kill each other? Put it on the chat box. Why do you think?
We'll wait. People are typing Janki, but I want to tell you something. This is so hard hitting, and I don't know if anybody will mention this on the group, but you have literally narrated what I think each one of us would be feeling that, oh my God, I'm not like that. How can they be like this? I'm sure all of us have felt this at some point or the other. Janki, thank you. This makes complete sense, and yet it seems so hard. But let me tell everybody that you may not believe this, but today Janki is actually going to share with us. We are going to get a glimpse and experience this. And tomorrow, when we come back, you just see what happens and how this works. This is going to change something in all of us today. And Janki, thank you for that. And the responses have come in. Nilesh says it's part of the one. Deepika says that's me. Because most of them, Ranita, Poonam, they have said that they are a part of me because they belong to us. And M says because that's acceptance. Satya Prakash says because we excuse ourselves, not others. And Suvarna says because I take the responsibility. Sharman says because of acceptance.
Absolutely. And all of you are correct, right? The tooth is also mine, the tongue is also mine. And because I'm considering both parties mine, I'm not getting offended. I'm just like, okay, yeah, it hurts, but I'm not going out and blaming the tongue or teeth and saying, you're so bad and why are you doing this? But if somebody else had to do that to me, I would say, oh, you did it. How could you hurt me? Instantly, I created separation. Over the use of Ho'oponopono, that separation for me has melted, which is why when people do things today, I just can recognize, I said, I can see why you think this way. I can so relate. 2 years back, I used to be the same. Now I don't get mad at them because that separation, which is why I said, right, Ho'oponopono, the biggest gift Ho'oponopono gave me was the ability to see that we are all one. And let me tell you, so even when there's a very resistant, stubborn client sitting in front of me, in my head, I'm chanting Ho'oponopono. Wherever I am so stubborn, wherever I am not willing to let go, wherever I am so stuck on proving myself right and the other person wrong, I take responsibility and I dissolve it in me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And then surprisingly, or not so surprisingly, they tell me, okay, I get it. Right? So this is the power of Ho'oponopono. So this is, and sometimes it happens, right? We have family members who don't want to work on themselves. You can see they're in pain. You can see they are suffering emotionally, physically, mentally, financially. They are isolating, they are cut off. And you feel so helpless. Have you felt that way?
Yeah.
Family member or a dear friend who is going through a very bad phase but is saying ki nobody can help me, ab to kuch nahi kar sakte, ye to mera life aise hi chalega, and they've given up hope. And at such times, Ho'oponopono helps, because what you're actually doing is you're praying on their behalf. It's almost like proxy chanting, but what you're recognizing is it's not actually proxy, because if it's in them, it's in me. And if I heal me, by default, it will create hope inside them. Wherever I've given up on myself, wherever I have lost hope, wherever I'm willing to suffer but not change something, wherever I'm so stuck in victimhood and blame games but not willing to do the action to change, I take responsibility. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And then see the magic.
Absolutely.
It works every single time.
Sure, and we will get a glimpse of that. Janki, I actually want to repeat what you have said
Yeah.
because we have got a couple of questions where people are still asking about others. Like Shalaka says that she had done an Akashic records, and there is this problem with the person. So is she supposed to do Ho'oponopono twice? And then NS has asked that other person involved is not very communicative. So how do we do this? So it all comes down to me, us, right? Our own self, whatever it is. In fact, there is a question which Suvarna has asked, and a similar couple questions which we have got, that when we are chanting this, okay, do we need to think of that other person? Or do I need to think of myself and remind that I'm forgiving myself, I love myself? So Swarna and a couple of more people have asked this.
I can give you answers and answers and answers, but I think it's time to go into a demo. Because if let's actually work on it, let's actually take every one of us, let's take one person that who triggers us or hurts us or is not communicative or is, not willing to work on themselves or see that there is a problem. And let's use the Ho'oponopono prayer to heal ourselves only, and then see what it creates. Shall we do that?
Absolutely. Janki, if you don't mind, can you give us a couple of more minutes?
Yes,
There are some related questions. We'll take them on. And
sure.
then you do let us know about somatic, that is body work. And then you
100%.
can directly go into the demo so that we can relate the body and the prayer. So thank you, Janki. Arjun has asked that is it possible to clear spaces using Ho'oponopono?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So with Ho'oponopono, in fact, in the book Zero Limits, there's a beautiful, example of clearing spaces. So when Dr. Hewlett was invited to America to talk to people and share about Ho'oponopono, they've written that when he would go into the hall where the dinner was being hosted, he would actually talk to the space. and ask, is it okay for me to do this here? And there was once that he got a no, right? Like the space, intuitively, he got like, no, this space is not ready to have me. And he chanted Ho'oponopono and again asked after some time, and this space said, yes, now you may come and have your little meeting here. So you can clear spaces wherever you feel there's negative energy. See, negative energy in a space is a reflection of us, right? The vibrations that we are giving out is affecting the vibrations around us. Have you seen when somebody who enters the room and they're very, full of life and vibrant and joyous or peaceful, and the energy of the space changes and everyone starts feeling that? That is osmosis, right? Where your vibrations are affecting the vibrations of the people around you, the spaces around you. So absolutely, by chanting Ho'oponopono, you can change the space, the vibrations around you, of your home, of your office, your car. This is really funny. There have been times where my car, I can feel there is a problem. There is a cut hours in the engine. And I'm like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Don't crash on me right now. And this funny part, right? I drove 22 kilometers. I was 22 kilometers away from home. And I recognized that, something could go wrong. And it was like nighttime, evening time, around 8-ish. And I was so afraid. I said, I'm on the highway. I'm all alone. I don't want anything to break down here. We entered the gate of my house and then the car broke down. So there was a problem, but I don't know how Ho'oponopono did it. But me chanting that phrase got me. 22 kilometers is not a short distance. It's not 1-2 kilometers, right? 22 kilometers. And I said, thank you. So you can change everything if you're willing to take responsibility and chant. That's why I said, you don't need to use your brains, right? Drop down into your body. This is where we come to the somatic part, right? Drop down into your body. Just allow your vibrations to shift the vibrations of everything around you.
Beautiful, Janki, and thank you for that example. I will never forget it. Uh, so, what about ancestral trauma? Janki Bhagya has asked that can we heal ancestral trauma with this as well?
Yes, absolutely. Ancestral, cross-generational, past, present, future. I would say not only ancestral, also your future, because of future generations to come, because we all share an energetic imprint or a DNA that carries forward. So if you had to make a change in you, and this is what I always tell my mom, if I'm changing something in me, by default, I'm changing it in you and my kids, right? Because you are shifting something at a very core cellular level, energetic level. And even, if forget even energetic and body level, right? We are a soul family. If one person in the soul circle shifts, it affects everyone or it uplifts everyone, right? So 100% yes, you can heal your ancestors, your future generations, if you are willing to change something on you. It's like
Amazing.
Mukesh Ambani, right? If he becomes rich, everyone around him becomes rich. So if you become spiritually elevated from a place of peace, forgiveness, joy, oneness, love, how can the people around you stay the same? It's not possible.
Makes sense, Janki, and these are such important insights. One last question before you take us to the activity. Actually, it's a very straightforward yes or no question. Vasanti has asked that can Ho'oponopono help in healing recurring health issues?
No, it cannot. No, no, I'm just joking. Of course it can.
Oh,
Okay, so of course, okay, again, recurring health issue is simply a messenger trying to give you a message and saying, okay, let's just say shoulder pain. I have a recurring shoulder pain. Now, what is the recurring shoulder pain, which is again somatics, right? Where we go into the body, but it is simply your body was created to be the vehicle that helps you to go through this journey of life in the most comfortable and perfect way. So it is equipped to give you information wherever you're going off track. It is equipped to be your mentor and guide. It is equipped to be your best friend you can have fun with. It's not only about getting through the journey, but also having fun through the journey. So your body is here as your best friend, your messenger, your guide, your, everything. Now, a recurring illness is nothing but your body saying, excuse me, tuck, tuck. Knock, knock. You have left a lot of burdens here. Can you just clear them, please, so we can travel lighter? Right? And the minute you take the message, you take responsibility, you're willing to heal it, why doesn't it stop? Of course it will stop, right? Of course it will start shifting. And all you need to do is be willing to sit with that part of your body and chant, taking responsibility, whatever burdens I'm carrying. Okay, forget it. This though is because I know shoulder means burden. Let's say you're a layman who doesn't know. Whatever I did to create this, whatever I'm not doing, which is allowing this to continue, right? I take responsibility. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Whatever I'm holding on to and unwilling to release, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Right? And you see the way things start shifting. It's about taking responsibility with love. You can't blame yourself. You can't say, oh my God, I'm the one who's wrong. I'm the one who's creating this, so silly of me, or, we use much worse words with ourselves, but, don't blame yourself. It's not about blaming. It's just about simply taking responsibility from a place of love.
Janki, we are ready. I want to tell you and everybody there are some questions on the group, Janki, but we will flow right now. And let me assure everybody that Janki will be there on the group after the call is over. She's going to be there tomorrow as well. Every question is going to be taken care of. If we miss out on the live call right now, they will be answered on the group. So rest assured, come back to the group or catch the replay if we take them up later. Janki, all yours. Please tell us what do you have in store for us? What are the instructions? And if we need to take care of anything, be mindful of anything. And uh, definitely this will work in the replay as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All
For
right.
anyone listening to it at any point in time, this will work beautifully for you. All you need to do, all I would like you all to do is now sit back comfortably, close your eyes, and allow me to guide you for the next 5 to 7 minutes on shifting your vibrations by taking responsibility. In let's work on a specific relationship that is very troublesome or painful or sticky for you, and you just seem so exasperated and lost and you don't know how to deal with that person. Think of that one person, that one relationship which you're like, if I could just get rid of this or heal this or change it or fix it or end it, I would be happier in my life. You've all thought of that person? Beautiful. Now, allow yourself to close your eyes and feel your breathing. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale slowly, get present to how you feel in your body as you think of this person. What do you feel emotionally, mentally, and physically when you think of this person that you have a problem with? It could be a subtle shift. It could be a dramatic shift, or you feel no shift at all because it happened in the past and you don't really remember it too much to trigger you enough right now. It doesn't matter. I want you to now imagine this person is sitting in front of you and you have chosen to take responsibility to heal yourself from what they make you feel. Let's start with the first phrase, I'm sorry. As you chant this phrase, I'm sorry, give the intention that whatever I've done to create this, for whatever reason that I invited you in my life, for whatever reason that I let you stay in my life, For whatever reason, I allow this experience that I have around you to continue. I chant by taking responsibility. I chant, I am sorry. Be mindful of the energy, of the vibrations, or the feeling in your body right now as you chant it. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. As you sit with yourself, also tell yourself, for all the times that I have allowed this person to affect you, for all the times that I've not been able to protect you, for all the times I have no clue how to respond or change or shut this, I'm so sorry. I know you might feel there's nobody to help you. You feel alone or helpless or abandoned. For that, I take responsibility and I say, I am sorry. For everything you went through, for everywhere that you felt wrong about yourself, about being you, everywhere that you felt small and helpless, everywhere that you maybe felt like a burden, everywhere you believed how this person made you feel. Maybe it was unworthy. I'm saying, I'm sorry. And let's move to the second phrase. Please forgive me. You're telling yourself, I know there was a reason I invited and created this situation and this person in my life, but right now, I'm just taking responsibility and saying, please forgive me for everything you went through. Please forgive me. For wherever I chose that this was the best experience to go through for your spiritual evolvement, I'm saying, please forgive me. Maybe this was the best for my spiritual journey, but I know it was really hard for you. I know you went through a lot. Please forgive me. And moving forward, for how you have been brave and stuck around, for how you have been carrying on despite all the wounds, mental, emotional, physical, for how you have been strong and continued your journey. I am so proud of you. Thank you. I love you. For all the lessons you've learned along the way, for all the things you have changed into and become. I thank you. I love you. I see the beauty and the divinity in you. I see the perfection and the glorious you. Thank you. I love you. For how you still manage to smile, still manage to have kindness, for what you still bring to the world by being you. I thank you. I love you. And as you chant all four phrases together now, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. As you continue to chant these phrases, be mindful of the vibrations and feelings and sensations in your body. If there's any particular part of your body that is speaking out to you, is pinging for your attention, take your attention there with a gentle smile, as if you're listening to somebody who wants to talk to you desperately, and chant the phrases while you attentively listen and say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Maybe different parts of your body are pinging at you, one by one, or scanning all together. Continue to chant the phrases while anchoring your attention to your body sensations. And as you do, now think of that other person again, the person who we started with. See what has shifted in the way you feel towards them. Notice whether you still feel the same, feel lesser, or maybe even feel more towards it. All you need to do is notice how you feel towards them. Observe and just watch. And as you watch, we will one last time chant very slowly and mindfully. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Taking a deep breath and exhaling slowly through your mouth like blowing out a candle. Allow yourself to gently come back and slowly open your eyes. Take time if you need so. Whenever you're ready, you can have a sip of water. And yes, I'd love to know how you feel.
I get to be the first one to share, Janki, and today I'm quite composed, but let me tell everybody the first time I did this with Janki, Janki, even you don't know this. I was in tears, I was like, in fact, somebody told me today that forgiveness is one of the most hard things to work on. So it's really profound, and this is another kind of healing work, Janki. This was beautiful. Thank you so much once again. And the comments have started coming in. Chinal had a great experience. She has a big smile on her face at the end. Thank you. Yamini had a racing heart and she has stirred up. Sonal says extremely emotional. Raki says relaxed and calm. Thank you so much. Deepika says I was not feeling like opening my eyes. Deepika, don't. Just listen to us. And Shaman says felt reposed. Arjun says at the end I could feel a bit of fear and uneasiness in my heart chakra. And I felt angry too. But I'm feeling better now, lighter now. Thank you. And Swarna says, I've been crying throughout, but feeling lighter in my heart after so many days. Rupali says, I had tingling sensation in my leg. Vasanti says, I was very heavy in the beginning, but I was full of white light towards the end. Purnima says, thank you so much. My heart feels lighter, but we'll need to repeat. Purnima, you have the replay as many times as you want. Sur says, I'm feeling sad, a bit calm, and I was having heaviness in my heart chakra during the activity. Nandini says, I had a sensation in my Ajna chakra. Asha says, tears rolling down through the session, feeling lighter, and I could forgive. NS says, feeling lighter and full of hope and energy. And I can see people are still typing. Janki, thank you once again for this. I couldn't help but notice two uh, directions of responses. One of the said we felt quite emotional, we teared up, and the other they're quite calm and they're feeling lighter, and there is a big smile on their face. So thank you for this experience, Chanki. In fact, would you like to speak with anybody?
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us what should we do next?
Yeah, if there is somebody who would like to maybe take the experience deeper, I invite you to, if you're willing to come on and have a chat with me. And maybe we can take you deeper into this forgiveness and see what we can shift in for your relationship.
Absolutely. And everybody, we invite you, let us know on the Telegram group if you would like to come on and do this work with Janki. It is a glimpse of the personal session with her. And let me tell you, please, that we are live on YouTube, and this call replay is going to be shared on the Telegram group and social media. So only if you're comfortable sharing your details and with the advice Janki is going to give you, only then we request you to come on, and we will choose somebody. We will try to do as many people as possible because we still have Janki's 5 second tool waiting for us, and she is going to give us Hoponopono home play. And everybody, since relationship was the major theme today, we did the process related to relationship, but tomorrow we will check with you and see if you want to do something else. So, Janki, we have we still have more comments. Janki, I will quickly read those out before we choose somebody. Everybody, if anybody wants to come on and do a live session with Janki, please let us know on the group and we will take you on. NS says taking responsibility on ourselves, being accountable 100% feels so liberating and empowering. Purima says, Janki, you're amazing. And lot of thank yous. Reshma says, I had such a terrible headache before this session. Now it's gone.
Wow.
Thank you, Janki. And Yamini has a statement, but we will definitely keep that in mind. She says, will we cover health and finances as well tomorrow? What do you say, Janki?
Sure, we could work on finances because I think that is something which interests everyone. And if we get time, of course, we'll touch upon health as well. No worries.
All right.
I'd love to.
So, thank you, Janki. We have Swarna who is interested to come on, but Swarna, I can't find you on Zoom. So, either let us know what's your name on Zoom. In the meanwhile, Janki, let us take Murdhar. He has been with us right from the beginning, and I'm going to
Sure.
spotlight you along with him and all yours.
Hi, Murdar. Welcome and thank you for coming to talk.
Yeah, thank you, madam. The session was very informative, and I could learn. See, most of the problems in the world is revolving around relationship only. The relationships maintained very well harmoniously, then happiness is the ultimate result.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a very good prayer which you have informed us. But my question here is, if the relatives are selfish, that they want only receiving and not giving, right? There are some relatives who only receives and not gives, not shares.
Yeah.
In that case also, this prayer will help.
Yeah. So the first rule of Ho'oponopono is people around me are a reflection of me. If it is in them, it is in me as well, right? So what we are simply doing here is that acknowledging. So Ho'oponopono, the first thing it taught me was when I saw these selfish people, I would say, wow, am I also this selfish? And not to make myself wrong for it. Not to say, oh my God, I'm a bad person. I'm so selfish. How can, this be? I would say, wow, okay. If I'm that selfish, now that you've shown me a mirror, I'm taking responsibility and shifting that selfishness in me. And the minute I shift it in me, something also by default changes in them. Okay. So it's like if you have a black paint and you are white paint. If you go and mix with the black paint cannot stay black anymore. It is going to become lighter, right? And eventually, the more you change and become whiter, the lighter will start shifting away from black, right? That's the first thing. Second thing, remember one thing. Every experience we create in our lives is perfectly created for us. It's happening for us, not to us. So if you have invited selfish people in your life, it's possible that you have let's just say at a soul level, you decided, I'm going to be the one doing the giving. Now you can only give if people are willing to receive. So you actually invited those people in your life to say, okay, I want to give, you better come and receive. And now that they're receiving, you're saying, why are you receiving so much? So it's where you say, wherever I created this, however this was supposed to serve me, I don't know what it is, whether it's karmic, whether it's oaths, vows, whatever it is, I'm taking responsibility and saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. The minute you start, so when we have a judgment of people, right, that they are, very selfish, we lock them into that position. Now they have to be that every time they come in our vicinity. Every time they are in our zone, our proximity, they have to be this to us. You must have seen there are some family members who are nice to everyone but mean to you, or mean to everyone but nice to you.
Exactly.
Because your judgment of that person locks that relationship for y'all. So if you stop judging them as selfish, as the ones only who want to receive and never give, and you open your heart and you say, you know what? I'm going to give you. And I'm not even saying give them money or anything. Just flow them energy. They will get saturated energetically and stop wanting anything materially. I've tried this, right? So try this and see how it works. And you can get back to me tomorrow or anytime in the future on Instagram and let me know.
Murtha, thank you so much for asking this question. I'm sure it has helped all of us on the call. Really appreciate you asking that. Janki, let us take one person who would like to go deeper with you. So Reshma has volunteered and Anubha has asked what is advanced Ho'oponopono. Advanced Ho'oponopono is what Janki is doing with us. It's a version. She's doing body work Ho'oponopono called Somatic Ho'oponopono. We are shortly going to share how you can learn this from her and how you can take a session with her. And yes, we have some more things lined up to experience. So stay tuned. And I'm going to get Reshma on now. Janki, Reshma, if you could come on video, we will spotlight you with Janki. If you're comfortable.
Akhil also, who has raised his hand, is just the one person I can see.
So Reshma is here.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Hi, Reshma.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Yes.
Hi, Janki.
Hi. Welcome.
Thank you. I hope you're having a great day.
I am clearly very awesome.
So, first of all, thank you so much. I mean, I really suddenly out of the blue at the onset, I was having such a terrible headache. I keep having that on and off, but it never goes off so easily. And it's like when I started off, off late, there have been quite few stressful conditions at home. So I'm like trying everything and anything. right from karmic healing to tarot telling to everything. Nothing has relieved me so much in such a short while. Uh, I don't know. Matlab, it it never clicked so much right at the onset, which you said, na, like everyone had these queries. Ki if the other person is not willing, can we heal? But the concept that if you know I heal myself, it will just spread. Concept struck with me somehow, and I saw the result also. I mean, it's always given the circumstances. It's everyone says ki uh, don't push yourself or don't take the blame on yourself or don't punish yourself. But somehow it just those are just words. It keeps on how do you say? It just doesn't
It's,
seep in.
it's theoretical, not
Yeah, it doesn't seep in.
yeah.
It actually seeped in, and it was like ki, yes, I'm like overdoing it. I'm punishing yourself for no fault of yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone says ki matlab, uh, you when you happen to read all these things, it's like na ki to give love, the first thing is love yourself. I've never been able to do that. Keep myself at the forefront, love myself. How do you love yourself? Matlab, समझ में ही नहीं आता था. Today, I think it was the first time I ever felt ki this is how you love yourself.
Yes. Yes. And let me share this, Reshma. You're right. I always say this, right? We know everything in the world. We know it all. But from here to here, the
Yeah.
journey that we make, where it sinks from knowing to being, to having that as your reality with every heartbeat and every cell in your body, that journey is the longest journey we make. We're all intelligent. Today, internet has got all the information at our fingertips. But that's why I say I'm very, very inquisitive and I go into it.
And
How is
frankly,
this
I'll tell you, like
affecting?
I was not. Matlab, this one was one of the least modalities of which I knew anything about, or of which I had actually expected anything, like tarot telling to karmic healing. I had some idea. You have karmic contracts. I had some idea. This one I couldn't even pronounce. I still can't pronounce. It's very complicated. Matlab, you
Yeah.
said into that verb. It was I actually knew nil,
Yeah.
not anything about it, and I had real zero expectations of it. And but all the practical things,
Yeah.
love yourself, forgive yourself, heal yourself, do not
I
expect
think
from people.
the beauty
All
is
those things were there.
the power of you taking responsibility with love and compassion, right? It's about you being there for yourself, just all of you. And when you do that, it starts shifting. I was somebody who hated myself a lot. In 2016, 2015, I would look at myself in the mirror and go like, oh, why do I look like this? And it took me 3 months of mirror work, standing in front of the mirror every day and learning to love myself, that I'm now feeling confident to, come here and speak like this.
Yeah, literally, it's I actually like discussed everything about me. Matlab, it's like मैं कुछ बोलती हूँ तो it has an adverse, it sets an
Yeah.
chain of adverse reactions, and I feel कि यार क्यों भी बोल रही हूँ, मतलब it is just going to backfire.
So can I
And
take you through a 2-minute little thing?
Sure. I'm all in.
So close your eyes. And this is for everyone. Everyone can do it along, right? Just see yourself as a little child. And just tell her, I love you. That's it. I love you. It doesn't matter who taught you to judge you, who made you wrong for what. They were just doing what they were supposed to do, which was necessary for your journey. But today, little one, I just want to let you know, I love you. Thank you for being you. You are perfect. I love you. I'm sorry I've been judging you so much, so harshly, so critical of you all the time, blaming you, shaming you, making you wrong all the time. I love you. And just hold her or him, the little you. Hold the little you in your arms and keep whispering with your arms wrapped around the little one and say, I love you. I'm sorry. I love you. And just stay there for a minute. And keep chanting, I love you. And as you chant, I love you, get present to your body. All the places you've been judging you physically for not being good enough. Just smile and let those I love yous that you are chanting, let them clear off all the judgments. And again with a smile, say, maybe this was important for me to feel for my journey. But now I would like you to know I love you and you are perfect. I love you. Drop into your body one more time, scan it. Wherever you are feeling that imprint of unworthiness, of being wrong, of being never enough or never good enough, go to that place specifically. It could be the pit of your stomach, your heart, your throat, your genitals, your fingers, the top of your head, and say, I love you. I love you. I love you. And put both your hands on your arms across. Cross your hands on your chest. And hold yourself in a warm, gentle hug. And again, just say, I love you. I'm here for you now. We're in this together. I love you. And take a deep breath. Exhale slowly and empty out your stomach. And smile. And as you smile, for a few more seconds, allow that smile to say to you, of course I love you. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Okay. I want you got it.
That was an I love you.
That was a I love you. Yeah. I generally seek these affirmations from her only. This was the first time I affirmed myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is something I want you to do. Just try this for 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 30 days, how much ever you choose to put into yourself. And see, when you start filling your cup, automatically everything else becomes less important. Let me give you all an example. If I have a glass of water, right? That's me. And I put a spoonful of salt in it. Spoonful, tablespoon, one heaped tablespoon of salt. And I'd stir it. What's going to happen to the water? It's going to become very, very salty, right? But every time I fill my own cup, I'm expanding me. So now from a glass of water, I become a bottle of water. And the more I love me, I become a bucket of water and a tub of water and an ocean of water. Now that same spoon of salt, imagine if I put in a tub of water, how salty will the water become? Very less. So other people's stresses, words, actions, the financial stresses, all that affects you much less when you have filled your cup and expanded yourself with love. The people who are snappy, irritated all the time, because you've not loved yourself, then everything triggers you. The minute you become love, the minute you fill your own cup with love, everything starts changing. Because now it's like this, right? I have a glass of water in my hand. If somebody bumps into me, the glass, I'll spill water. Why did the water spill? Not because somebody bumped into me, because there's water inside. If there was tea, tea would have spilled. If there was coffee, coffee would have spilled. So if somebody interacts with you and you get triggered and irritation comes out, is because irritation is inside you. If anger comes out or if sadness comes out, it's because that's inside you. The minute you start filling it with love, let anyone trigger you, what's going to come out? Love.
Love.
You're going to have compassion. You're going to have empathy. You're going to have kindness. That's what Ho'oponopono by default starts filling you with. Right? I hope you feel better right now.
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Do you have a question? Awesome.
Reshma, thank you so much for joining. In fact, Janki, let me tell you, this is the first time. This was like a live testimonial. Reshma said she had a headache and that the headache has gone and she has never felt this better before for any activity. And Reshma, thank you for joining. Because of you, we experienced this wonderful process, and really stay on for what's coming, because Janki is doing this work with all of us. And before you share with us, Janki, how we can take on this work with you, I want to read some comments and share with you.
So,
Purima, Nandini, Satyaprakash, everybody says thank you. So does Yamini. Gina says amazing. Shalaka says, oh my God, this is awesome. Tears were rolling down my eyes. Even Renita was in tears, but she's relieved and happy now. Deepika is sending love to Reshma. And Arjun has been having a question, which I will ask you now, and we will go to the packages. Nilesh also cried, and I want to, send warm wishes to everybody who's feeling very emotional right now, that please have some water, stay with us, come back tomorrow. This is deep, beautiful, profound work. And quickly, Janki, Arjun asks, can I chant this for the welfare of street dogs?
yeah, of course. You can chant it for everyone and everything. You can chant it for world issues. You can chant it for the corruption that's happening around you. You can chant it for animals, birds, plants, trees, everything. It doesn't matter. As long as you are chanting with love, it can affect and change everything.
Thank you, Janki. In fact, we had a query just before your activity that if there is somebody unwell in the family, we can do this for them as well, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. And Gina and Sonal have shared a couple of really beautiful comments. Janki, you have changed my entire perspective and outlook on healing, says Gina. And Sonal says a very different and beautiful way of explaining this modality. Thank you, Janki. Everybody, lots more coming up today and tomorrow. Janki, let's go ahead and tell people how we can do this with you after your call. So I'm going to share my screen
Yeah.
and you please tell us what's in store.
Yeah, I would love to. And again, let me tell all you guys while Shilpa is sharing her screen, these are things which I have learned from multiple people. They are things I have practiced and seen, like with a microscope. I've seen every little thing that's happening inside me while I'm learning, practicing, doing, using, applying in different areas of my life. And I'm somebody, when I get a tool, the first thing I want to do is personalize it, right? I'm not, yes, of course, I learn it authentically the way it's taught, but everything you will learn with me, whether it's Ho'oponopono, happy body, access consciousness, whatever I teach, it's always my take on it, right? Because you're learning it through me. So obviously, when it comes through me, it's going to have the Janki flavor. So my personal style is to keep things very, very light, very breezy, very easy, because I truly believe that everything we do should be fun. We've come here to have fun. Yes, we are here to learn and study. It's like we go to college to study, but fun is the most important thing, right? So everything I teach you is based on personal experience. I've experienced it first with myself, with family members, with hundreds of clients across 6 continents. I've done the work. So everything I teach you will be, it might not be in the form that you might have heard of it externally, but it will be in a form that is absolutely applicable to you in those little areas of your life where you're like, yeah, but this concept, how do I apply it to this? How do I apply it to that? That's what I will be teaching you. It's very, very application oriented. In fact, Shilpa, if you can share the screen.
Absolutely.
The first thing that I'm sharing with you is Somatic Ho'oponopono. Okay, so yeah. So there are 3 offerings that I have for you all. The first is Somatic Ho'oponopono, which is basically what we did, right? It is Ho'oponopono, the 4 statements, but using somatic means your body. Soma is your body. Using your body to anchor the statements and mindfully watching the sensations in the body to know where is it stuck, what do I need to shift, where am I still holding back, where am I feeling unsafe to let go, or look into this. And gently, as we chant the phrases, we open ourselves up with love, right? Which is why, as you saw, that beautiful instant healing of the headache that happened, right? It happens because we're using a very powerful thing called Ho'oponopono with the best thing we have at our disposal, which is our body, right? And when we mix the body with Ho'oponopono, we're learning Somatic Ho'oponopono. So that's the first offering. The second one is just plain Ho'oponopono in the basic form, which, as I said, it's very, very powerful. There's modality in itself. If you're not sure if you want to go in for somatic, which is like an advanced or a fusion version of Ho'oponopono, then you can sign up for the basic, which is a basic practitioner's course. Both are very, very powerful. Even just Ho'oponopono in its basic form is super powerful. You can apply to every area of your life. And the third thing, if you would like, if you're somebody who feels, I'm not sure a group thing is for me, I want a personal consultation, then you can sign up for package C, which is the personal consult, where I will use Somatic Ho'oponopono and Ho'oponopono to heal you. So there are great savings, as you can see on the right-hand side of the slide, moving forward, right? Now, again, why Ho'oponopono with me, right? As I said, the first and most important thing is because I've applied it in every area of my life and I've seen changes in my relationships. In relationships that I had tough, like decisions to take for 25 years, it's become easy breezy. I have seen shifts in my finances, in the way people are receiving me, gifting me. All of that has changed. And most importantly, I think I've changed my relationship with myself, where I've started loving myself, that inner critical voice, that constant beating myself up, making myself wrong, thinking I'm not good enough, thinking I'm unworthy. All these things have shifted. And by default, my relationship with my family members, with my business, with my clients, with society, with my children has shifted. So if you want to be healthier, mentally, emotionally, physically, grow spiritually, reduce anxiety, resentment, helplessness, negativity, really just have beautiful relationships all around. And when I say relationship, not only with people, in your business, in your career, in your, the dogs in your locality, as somebody just said, beautiful relationships everywhere you go, because you are changing yourself. You're going to start vibrating with love, with kindness, with compassion, with forgiveness. Wherever you go, you're going to take that essence with you. If you want to learn that, then Ho'oponopono is for you. And Ho'oponopono by itself is one of the most beautiful, most powerful, and the simplest of modalities. So if you want a simple solution for all your big problems, then you hop on for the Ho'oponopono class with me, okay? One other thing, yes, you can move forward, Shilpa, but as I said, a lot of other modalities need some amount of skill and practice, and this modality, you need like the lowest level of skill. We are really intelligent, but when we talk about healing difficult things, we all become victims. We all become helpless. We all become not those intelligent people, but very, very small children who are stuck. So Ho'oponopono again helps, because you don't need a very intelligent, sharp mind to do this. You just need a heart that is willing to take responsibility and love, right? So what is this Somatic Ho'oponopono, which is package A? It's going to be 10 hours, okay, of live classes. We're going to do sessions. There are going to be sessions on, the dates are written here. You will get all the recordings. But what we're going to do is we're going to learn Ho'oponopono first. We're going to learn the basics of somatic healing then. We're going to integrate the two, right? Ho'oponopono and somatic healing. We're going to integrate and see how to use it together, and then use that for different areas of your life. So then we'll see how to apply it. See, most times we learn a modality, but we don't know how to apply it in those difficult situations. So here we will meet together. We'll apply it on your relationships. We'll apply it on your finances. We'll apply it on your health. We'll apply it on whatever else you need to apply it. Beyond the 3-4 things I have thought of, if you have something else, we'll even there's a whole session dedicated to what do you need to heal, and we'll work on that as well, right? So all this you're going to get, of course, one very important thing which happens by default is you become a very quick manifester, right? So whatever you think starts getting attracted into your life by default. So we'll learn how to manifest great abundance, good relationships also by using this modality, right? So we have, yes, as I said, there will be a step-by-step guide on how to integrate and apply this to the different areas of your life. And wherever you're stuck, right? One of the things I always do in my courses is I will be there for you for 3 months. And I will take you through any problems that you have. You can share it on the group. You can share a voice note or a message wherever you're stuck or you have a win. We will, as a group, celebrate it or clear it together. Okay. So that's in the bonuses.
Yeah, you've already covered this, Janki,
Yes.
that we will be combining somatic healing
Yes.
and Ho'oponopono for anything and everything. And yes, the bonuses, Janki.
Yeah. So as I said, we will have 3 months on WhatsApp where you will have access to me directly. I'll be seeing your comments. I'll be reading your questions. I'll be sharing insights and answers and personal experiences, whatever I feel you need to shift whatever you're stuck with. Okay. There will be a live call even after we finish the course. I always have another call with my participants to know how much progress they've made, where they're stuck, what they need to do as a way forward. Also, if at all you're a professional healer, I will be giving you guidance for your first 3 clients. For each one who signs up for this workshop, I will be there for you to say, and you can tell me, like, I remember when I started out, I would go to my teachers and, okay, I have this client, but they're coming with this problem. How should I handle it? And I would love when they would help me. So I thought it's only fair for me to extend this to you. So I'll be there to guide you on your first 3 clients. Let's say you're not professionally practicing, but if you have a family member or a friend you're sitting with and using this modality, please feel free to reach out. I'll be very happy to guide you on how you can use it. Now, one of the first things that I'm offering here, which is, I've not done this before, but I'm very happy to do it now, is within 6 months, you can get a free revision class. So which means the next time I teach somatic Ho'oponopono, and if you would like to hop on, you are welcome to hop on and do a free revision, absolutely free. Okay, so you have to pay nothing. And that kind of helps, because sometimes you got a certain level of awareness in the first time you attended. There are classes I've attended multiple times. Each time a new level of wisdom opens up based on where I'm in my journey. So I will welcome you to join this whenever in the next 6 months that I'm doing this class again. And we will be doing a 21 days forgiveness challenge on WhatsApp so that you can actually start taking those sticky areas of your life and working through it, right? Now, if I had to ask you a question here, what is it worth to you, right? What is it worth to you to be back in control of your life? What is it worth to have your mental peace, your self-love? To never feel helpless again in front of other people, no matter how much they are mean or evil or triggering you. What is that worth? What is your mental peace worth? It's priceless, right? I know from my journey, it's priceless, right? And yes, a lot of things are going to be given here and the prices are written here that the total value of this is 75,000, which is technically just a small monetary figure that we've attached to this priceless offering. But this course is going to be made available to you just for 11,000 or USD 152. Now, what are you going to get in this? Yeah, you're technically saving 63,000 with $877, which is amazing. But you're going to get live classes. You're going to get all the recordings. You're going to get the PDF notes post-class. You're going to get a practitioner certificate, 3-month support group, live access to me, right, for 3 months, and a free revision, and so much more. I would like to just invite you all here that, and this is something that I practice, right? I remember the first time I was signing up for a course and I read it's 25,000 rupees. I was a little shocked. And I said, 25,000 rupees, I don't know if I need it. My problems are not that big yet. I'm not going through any mental illness. I don't need all this, right? But I took a leap of faith and I signed up. Believe me, that's one of the best decisions I made in my life, because I had so much more peace. I was so much more empowered. I never felt like a helpless victim again. There's always, I know there is something I can do at my level, irrespective of what's going on. I'm in control of how I feel, of my life. And by changing myself, I can change everything around me. So if you want to feel that powerful, if you feel that, Janki, yeah, I think I'm ready to take charge of my life in the simplest and most fun way. So let me tell you, everybody who's done a class with me will vouch for this. I make the most difficult things super fun. The biggest concepts super easy. And no matter what you're dealing with, like I remember there are times I've dealt with people who have just lost a family member. They are grieving, but by the end of my session, they have a big smile on their face. They say, I don't know how you managed to make me smile, but the world actually looks brighter now. No, yeah, clearly I'm not being modest, but this is because I really want to tell you that there is so much more possible, right, in the world if you're just willing to show up, right? You're willing to show up and invest in yourself, you can come. You're most welcome. Okay. Now, package B is the Ho'oponopono practitioners course. We will be doing simple Ho'oponopono here, learning the phrases, how to apply them. I will also be giving you a bonus phrase here, which you can apply. Okay. Now, we will learn the essence, why this is a worldwide phenomena, why it's so powerful, how to apply it in your life, how to heal not only yourself, but even your family members and friends, where you feel stuck and helpless, seeing them suffer, right? How you can even change something for them. Again, we will be learning how to apply this to your relationships, to your wealth, and for your health. Okay. Now, the bonuses are same. There will be 3-month support. There will be a live call afterwards. You can get professional guidance even here. There is free revision within 6 months and a 21 days forgiveness challenge for you as well. So if you are very sure, I want to do this somatic Ho'oponopono, you go for that course. But if you're like, no, I just want to get to know Ho'oponopono, I'm not sure if, how this is, I would still like to test it and maybe then take an upgrade, then yes, come for the Ho'oponopono practitioners course. You are absolutely welcome. Even Ho'oponopono by itself is beautiful. It's powerful. It's magnificent, right? So please feel free. Yes, again, it's priceless, what you're going to get. But the monetary value of this is 32,000 or 450 odd dollars. But what you're going to get it here in the Mystic Lotus Summit only is this package for 3,900 only, right? Or USD 54. So there are great savings, and you are most welcome to choose. Now, let me also quickly tell you, if you are somebody who's constantly feeling physical aches, pains, recurring issues, illnesses with your body, that means your body is already talking to you and trying to get your attention. Then I would recommend, as your friend and as a coach, you go for the somatic Ho'oponopono. If you're not so struggling with your body, and you just want to get a taster of what this is and then decide whether you want to upgrade or just learn Ho'oponopono by itself, then you do this Ho'oponopono course. It is short, sweet, and powerful. But if you would like to know your mind body connection and start using your body, connecting it more and more to live a happier, healthier life, then you choose the somatic Ho'oponopono. Shiva, you can go ahead. Yes, so quickly just summing it up, you get the somatic Ho'oponopono for 11,000, the basic Ho'oponopono for 3,900, or US dollars 54 and US dollars 150
Yeah.
for
Thank
somatic
you.
Ho'oponopono. And yeah, great
Yeah.
savings, as I can see.
Yes.
But
And
most importantly, sorry, yes, Shilpa, you're
no,
saying.
no, no, Janki. I was just repeating that the basic Ho'oponopono package B is included in package A. So the somatic Ho'oponopono is definitely going to include the basic Ho'oponopono, which is package B.
Yes, yes. And again, irrespective of which of them you choose, just remember what you're actually choosing is more inner peace, right? And the power to shift anything in your life more than anything else. Okay, so package C is a one-to-one consultation. So if you're somebody who says, Janki, I'm not very comfortable working in a group, I would like to work one-to-one, then you choose package C. You can address any issue. You can buy one session, address any issue in your life: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, relationships, money, career blocks, anything at all. You will receive personal, I will sit with you, listen to you, and help you understand what you're holding on to, how to release it and let it go, and help you shift it in that one session. It is, of course, a very simple, straightforward way to say that I learn the modality, yes, but I also want you to work on me. So let me just tell you, normally the sessions are a lot more expensive, but only for the Mystic Lotus. And for this summit, I'm offering this to you at 8,999, right? And in this course, you will get, sorry, I'm making you jump, Shilpa.
Not at all.
Sorry. Yeah. So what you get here is not only a 1 hour consultation, but a 15 minutes follow-up session after a week, where you can come back to me and say, Janki, this is what happened, or this is the shift, or this, or I need help with this, or I understood this, but not this. So we have a chat. You will also have access to the Ho'oponopono Basic Practitioners course, right, which is package B. On that group, you also get 3 months WhatsApp support, live calls, guidance with your first 3 clients, and of course, access to a revision of Ho'oponopono within 6 months, right? And there is a 21 days challenge as well for whoever and whatever you need to forgive in your life. And all this for just 124 USD or 8,999. So please feel free to choose how you would like to take this forward in your life. And if you have any questions now, I would be very happy to hear them or answer
Absolutely.
them for you.
Everybody, please put on your questions related to the packages on the group. We are here, we will answer them. If you're not able to take on, we will get on the group and answer them. Quick recap: A and B. A is the somatic Ho'oponopono. course, which includes body work. It is for US dollars 152 and rupees 11,011. P is Hoponopono only, and it is included in package A. This is for US dollars 54 and rupees 3,900. Both of them have a lot of bonuses, including professional guidance and 21-day forgiveness challenge. And package C, which Janki mentioned very modestly, is a personal session which also has package B included, the entire Hoponopono practitioners course along with its bonuses for just US dollars 124 and rupees 8,999. So Janki, thank you for these, and we have some questions coming on. Neera has asked, are these online or offline? These are online on Zoom. And NS is asking, so B and A are included in C as well. In C, NS, which is the personal session, only B is included, which is the Hoponopono practitioner's course. Okay. Now, Swarn has asked, I would want to take a one-on-one session. Please confirm timings as I'm working long hours. So Swan, you will get Janki's calendar link once you book the package, and you can choose any time convenient for you, and you can book the session accordingly. Janki, we'll wait for some more questions. I can see people typing before we end today, and tell everybody actually that we are meeting again tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. And we invite all of you to tell us on the Telegram group what would you like to happen on tomorrow's call, and Janki is going to cover that for us. Yamini, we remember we will cover finances and about health.
Yeah.
Janki, were you going to say something?
Yes, I see one of my participants from the last workshop, Shreya, is here. And if at all it's okay, I would love to invite her to share what shifts she has created. Hi, Shreya. Is it okay if we bring her on?
Yeah, she's here.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Shreya. How are you? Thank you
I'm
for
good.
coming.
My pleasure.
Yeah. I'd love for you to share what were the shifts you created
Yes,
through
definitely.
the last few weeks.
So, yes, I have joined ma'am since like almost 3 months now. And since then, I have actually seen a shift in my life. So, I was going through a bad relationship. I was trying to get out of it. My career was not going anywhere. I was very confused about things. So, initially, I joined the happiness challenge and then I did emotional detox with ma'am. So, through somatic exercises and Ho'oponopono, today I've been able to actually start working on my relationships. I have started loving myself. I got a job in a very good, at a place which I wanted, and I'm doing good. I'm actually learning a lot today, and I'm happy.
Thank you so much, Shreya. And let me also tell you guys, I have seen the work, right? So, like when you have a 21 days challenge, she would be one of the first people, and sometimes on some days, even the only person who would say, work done, right? I have done what you asked us to. And Shreya, all the results that you're getting are a result of you putting in the work. It's not about me. It's not about the modality. It's about you taking charge of your life and putting in the work. And this is my invitation to everyone else who's here. If you're willing to put in the work, sometimes we learn modalities, we don't apply them. But if you're willing to apply it, these are the shifts. In just 3 months, she's healed relationships, she's found her dream job, she's got so much more going for her, and she's happy. It's hats off to you, Shreya. Again, thank you so much for coming and sharing that.
Yeah, Shreya, thank you for such a short and sweet and to the point testimonial. Everybody, we are reaching the end. We will meet again tomorrow. Janki, the thank yous are coming in, and some people have requested for health to be dealt with tomorrow. Okay.
Yes.
Janki, before we say bye to everybody, what would you like to leave us with? Something which we can use. Did you say Hoponopono home play? And tomorrow we come and share our feedback. What is it, Janki? Tell us.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my homework for everybody. Okay. Think of the one thing you want to create in your life. Okay, it could be anything. It could be a physique, a different sort of body, like weight. It could be money. It could be a life partner. It could be a job. It could be a holiday somewhere abroad, right? Whatever you want to create. And for the next, until we meet tomorrow at 6:30, I invite you to just write down what are all the places that you're not willing to receive it, right? Not willing to receive it. Now you will say, of course, Janki, I want to receive it. That's why I'm asking for it. But here's the question you ask. What is the worst that will happen if I get this? What is the worst that will happen if I get this? That will actually open up all the places you are afraid of blocking that from happening. And the minute you have that list, whatever it might have 2 things, 10 things, or 1 thing, just start chanting, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Okay? Write that list and then chant this until 6:30 tomorrow and tell me what you realized. Because I know what is going to happen, but I want you to realize it, and then we'll discuss it tomorrow in detail.
Amazing. I can't wait to try this, Janki. Everybody, we will share this on the group as well tomorrow. And do share. Janki, I had such a great time. I can't wait to catch the replay myself. This was a gold mine of a call, and we are meeting again tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Janki, for joining. We will meet again tomorrow.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure to see all the people, especially to all the people who have their cameras on. Thank you so much. I love seeing your beautiful faces, and it always encourages me and makes it feel like a live conversation. So thank you for your cameras on, everybody. Loved seeing you, interacting with you. Thank you for listening to my personal experiences and all that I had to share. Lots of blessings to you, lots of love and light to you. I wish you all grand success with ease and joy.
Thank you, Janki. And Deepika, Rupali, Jinal, Satyaprakash, Deepika, another Deepika, Poonam, Ranita, and I can see more people are typing in to say a thank you to you. We will meet again tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. India time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, chant, do the home play, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye. Good night.